At some point in your life, something broke you, not bent you, not challenged you, broke you, and right now, you are either still in it, or you came out the other side and you are watching this because part of you is not sure the new version of you is real yet. Either way, stay with me, because what I am about to tell you in the next 6 minutes is something the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago that nobody talks about honestly. Real transformation is not a glow-up. It is not a new morning routine. It is not a mindset shift you get from a quote on your phone. Real transformation is violent. It costs you something you were not prepared to give. And the version of you that comes out the other side looks nothing like the version that went in. That is the part everyone leaves out. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. Let me tell you about Marcus Aurelius, not the philosopher emperor on the coin, the actual man. At 39 years old, he became emperor of Rome. And within the first year, his co-emperor, his brother, the person he trusted most in the world, began to undermine him. A plague arrived that would kill 5 million of his people. His northern borders collapsed under the weight of armies Rome had never faced before, and his own body began to fail him. He was sick for most of his reign, chronic pain, sleepless nights, the weight of decisions that meant thousands of people lived or died. This is the man who wrote the Meditations, not from a place of peace, from the middle of the fire. And here is what he wrote. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. He was not writing that as motivation. He was writing it as survival, because he had learned something that only pain can teach. The obstacle does not block the path. The obstacle is the path. And if you're going through something right now, that is not a detour from your transformation. That is the transformation. Here is what nobody prepares you for about real change. It does not feel like becoming. It feels like loss. When you start holding yourself to a higher standard, you lose the version of yourself that was comfortable being less. When you start speaking honestly, you lose the relationships that only worked because you were silent. When you start taking your life seriously, you lose the people who preferred the version of you that did not. And that grief is real. It is supposed to be real. The Stoics did not tell you to pretend it did not hurt. They told you not to let the hurt make the decision. Seneca wrote this. It is not that I am brave. It is that I know what is on the other side. The pain of transformation is the price of admission, not to a better life. To your actual life. The one that was always waiting for you on the other side of the thing you kept avoiding. Subscribe to The Quiet Stoic. New video every single day. Now I want to talk about the part of transformation that is the hardest, not the beginning. The middle. Everyone talks about the breakthrough moment, the day you decided to change, the dramatic turning point. But nobody talks about what comes after that. The weeks where nothing seems different. The months where you are doing everything right and the results have not shown up yet. The moments where the old version of you feels closer than the new one, where the habits you are trying to break are louder than the ones you are trying to build. That middle space, the Stoics called it the arena. It is the place between who you were and who you are becoming. And most people do not lose the battle in the beginning. They lose it in the middle, because the middle is invisible. Nobody can see the work you are doing. The progress is internal. The growth is silent, and without external proof that it is working, most people stop. They go back. They tell themselves they tried. But here is what you need to understand about that middle space. It is not empty. It is full. Every day you stay in that arena. You are building something that cannot be built any other way. Tolerance for discomfort. Trust in yourself. The knowledge that you can keep going even when keeping going feels pointless. That knowledge, earned in the invisible middle, becomes the foundation everything else is built on. Marcus Aurelius spent 19 years in the middle, not 9 days, 19 years. He never got to the other side and relaxed. The war never ended. The plague never fully left. The political betrayals kept coming. And every morning he got up and wrote to himself. Not because it was working yet, because it was the right thing to do. That is what transformation actually looks like from the inside, not a highlight reel. A man alone with his journal at 5 in the morning asking himself, am I doing this right? Am I becoming what I said I would become? And then getting up and doing it again. Whether the answer was yes or not. So let me leave you with this. If you are in the pain of transformation right now, the disorientation is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is actually changing. The old structure is breaking down so the new one can be built. And that breaking down feels like failure. It is not. It is the most important thing that has ever happened to you. The question is not whether you can survive it. You already know you can survive hard things. You have survived everything that was supposed to stop you so far. The question is whether you are willing to let it change you completely. Not a little. Not a refined version of who you already were. Completely, because that is what real transformation requires. The willingness to let go of the old version, even when it is all you have ever known. Even when it is comfortable. Even when it is the version everyone around you recognizes. Marcus Aurelius wrote this near the end of his life. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. He was not saying loss feels good. He was saying loss is how nature builds new things. You are not being destroyed. You are being rebuilt. And what is being built is worth every single thing the process is costing you. Subscribe to the Quiet Stoic for daily Stoic wisdom that actually changes how you live.